Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, thanks for being here. So, today I want to talk about what you really need. I want us to really talk about this, what we really need in life, because I think sometimes we can be very disconnected from what we really need. And people find themselves, choosing behaviors that they think are going to help, but that really don't. I mean, do you ever feel lonely in your life? And so you go to the refrigerator to find something to eat? Have you ever done that? I mean, I used to do that like often. I remember telling people at times that food was one of my friends. Now, if that isn't a statement of emotional eating, I don't know what is. But I definitely did that in my life many times. And that's what I mean. Like, was I really hungry for food? Did I really need physical nourishment in those moments? No. Probably I was lonely at times and wanted real connection, you know? Or maybe when I've emotionally ate in the past, I was really angry and needed to find a healthy expression of the anger, but couldn't. Instead, I swallowed it and swallowed food right with it. Um, I bet you can relate to this. Some other examples are people who come home every night after a stressful day of work and they start drinking. It's like they want to numb all that stress they're feeling, right? These are just examples, and I'm not picking on anyone, but I want you to start thinking, what is it that I do? What is it that I do? I have someone in my life who exercises incessantly, just incessantly, like runs, 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 never stops running, 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 you know, and other forms of exercise. And admits that they think if they skip it, that they'll get fat. What are they actually running from? Would be my number one question to that person. uh Speaking of the body, if you have body hate, you just loathe your body for whatever reason. Maybe it's not working very well for you these days. Maybe you think you're fat. Maybe you don't like how you're aging. Whatever it is, what do you really need? Do you really need to go on a drastic diet and eat, 1,000 calories a day or less? Is that what you really need to address your body hate? Or do you need to learn how to love your body as it is and appreciate it just as it is with its flaws and imperfections? Or maybe there's no flaws in it at all, no matter what size or shape or functionality you have. What do you really need in your life? Think about this. If you're feeling overwhelmed, in your life, what do you need? Do you need to go shopping and spend some money and get more things? Probably not. Probably you need more balance. Or maybe you need some relaxation. Or maybe you need to go look in the mirror and ask yourself what you're doing in your life that you're feeling overwhelmed, and think about how you can start to shift out of overwhelmment. When you're lonely, you don't need food. You need intimacy. You need connection. You need to have a real conversation with someone. You need to sit with someone and experience something together. when you need to fill up every moment of your day, you know, those people that fill up every moment of the day. Maybe this person is you, where you can't stop for 1 second. So you go from one thing to the other, 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 and you drop to sleep at night, wake up and start the whole thing over again and just go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, whatever it is, making sure you fill up every second and never stop, because what's really going on there? You're anxious, you're stressed out, you're avoiding something. You may not know how to be comfortable with calmness, relaxation, silence, the time with yourself. You know, it's so important that we understand when we have a need and what the real need is, so we can address the actual need and not respond to the need with some behavior that maybe isn't very useful to us, or maybe gets us more into the depths of despair in our life, more involved in our addictions, more avoidant of what we really need. Um, you know, that brings less value to our life, for example. Um, so think about your own behavior. What are your habits? And when you're feeling down, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling angry, you're feeling in despair, you're grieving hard, those when you're really in, or you're really afraid, you feel really afraid or something in your life, notice what you do in response. What behaviors do you engage in? Do you, go shopping for things you don't need or want? Do you, go into a dialogue with yourself of self-loathing or guilt or regret or punishment? Do you yell and scream at your loved ones? Do you get out of control at work? Do you drive in a rage? Do you, overeat, overdrink, overdo it with anything? Do you reach for substances that are harmful to you? We've all done this. We've all done this. So let's just get that out there right now. Okay. I remember a long time ago when I was really stressed out, when my children were really little, and I think I was a really good mom and still am a good mom. They're all adults now, of course, but I'll never forget this moment in my life. I was really stressed out. The kids were little. I would say they were like 4 and 2, probably. My daughter was 4, or 3 or 4, 3 and 1 or 4 and 2. They were little. And their dad, my husband, was traveling a lot. I was alone a lot with the kids. They're great. They were great kids, but I was alone a lot with them. And I didn't get a lot of sleep. And you know the scenario, especially if you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. And one day I don't know what my little precious little girl did, but she did something. And I approached her. I'm way taller than her. Obviously, she's a little girl. She's like 3 or 4. And I pointed my finger at her, looked at her sternly, walked toward her with my finger pointed at her, and scolded her for what crime could she have committed at 3? But anyway, I'm talking to her very sternly and probably loudly, pointing my finger in her face. And she had these crocodile tears that formed in her eyes, and she started backing up away from me. She started backing away from me. And that really woke me up. I was like, oh my gosh, Cindy, what's the matter with you? What kind of life do you want with this child? What is your problem, Cindy? What do you really need right now, Cindy? Do you need to yell at your little girl for, I can't remember what she did or what she didn't do or what was the matter? Did I really need to, pull my I'm your mother control card in that moment and stick my finger right up close to her face and tell her off? Did I really need to be doing that? Absolutely not. That's not what I needed. And that's not what she needed. Perhaps she needed a redirection with her behavior. I don't remember her part of this scenario. I remember my behavior. What did I really need? I probably really needed some rest. I probably really needed some reprieve from parenting 24/7 by myself. I probably needed a girls' night out or something, you know? I probably needed to have an adult conversation with someone who really cared about me. That's what I really needed. That was what the indication was, not to yell at my kids or point my fingers at them or stand over them like a giant and tell them how to live their lives. So, this is what I'm saying to you. Watch your behavior, notice, wake up. Step one in the midlife makeover method. In my book, my course, my coaching programs, wake up. What do you really, really need? What do you really need? Please go get that. Don't replace the real need with behavior that you don't need, that doesn't bring value to your life or to anyone else's, or that may even be destructive to you or to your relationships or to your goals and what you want in your life. Okay. So that's my encouragement to you today, to really get honest and clear with yourself about what you really need in your life. We all have needs. It's okay. It's okay. So just connect with what those really, really are instead of, dumbing them down, avoiding them, pretending you don't need anything. That isn't true. You need something, you need people, you don't need nothing. Right? Okay. And if you need help with this, with waking up, with understanding, yeah, what do I really need? What do I really want? How can I change my habits in those times where I feel less than? Then please consider coaching, personal coaching. That's what I do. I work with people to, figure out the patterns that aren't working in their lives, understand what is ineffective and destructive, and then help them learn new habits, new success strategies, mindsets, things that are going to turn the story around in another direction, where you love yourself unapologetically. You don't feel bad for loving yourself and you let yourself do it and you recognize your worth. And then we're going to build that confidence up sky high so you can go for it. So you can really, really go for what you want in your life. This is what I do. I'm on a mission, people. I've done it in my own life and not without help. I had a therapist. I've had coaches. I've done personal development upside backwards for years to get me where I am. And there's no better investment than your own joy and meaning and satisfaction. Trust me, there isn't. There's no better way to spend your time, your energy, or your money. No better way. So please consider it. I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. No pressure, of course. So go to my website at cindydwhitmer.com, find the coaching section and apply. Just apply. You answer 7 questions in 5 minutes. And then if I think you're a great candidate for my coaching program, or that I could serve you well just from my own impression of your answers, then I will make sure we get on the phone and have a conversation and see what we want to do from there. So Anyway, this is my encouragement for you today. Really check out how you're showing up in your life and what it really means about what you really need. And please address the real needs to get you where you want to go. You are meant to feel joy and happiness and meaning in your life. And if you're not, we need to do something about it now. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, find out more about my coaching programs, or download my free ebook, The Midlife Makeover Method, The Secret to Loving Yourself Fully and Living on Your Terms, then head over to my website at www.cindydwhitmer.com and have a wonderful day.